Hello, everyone, and welcome to the August 18th installment of the Kubernetes SIG Contributor Experience meeting. I'll be your host, Allison. Just some general housekeeping before we get right into the deep of things. We all abide by a code of conduct here, so in short, that just means be excellent to each other. Yeah, and if you could add yourself to the attendees under meeting notes, that'll be awesome. I see a lot of new faces on the line. So I think it'll be kind of good to do like a round of introductions. I'll go first. I'm Allison. I'm Allison Downey. I'm a co-chair of Kubernetes SIG Contributor Experience. And I'm based out in London. And yeah, I'll pass the baton on to Dawn.
London represent. I'm Dawn Foster. I'm also based in London. I work at VMware, and I've been engaged with SIG Contrib Experience and Kubernetes kind of off and on. So I'm trying to get a little more involved again. And I will pass it off to Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh Burkus. Been involved with contributor experience for a long time. Work on mentoring and a few other things. I also work at Red Hat, and I'll pass it off to Madhav, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Hi, my name is Madhav. I do small things in the community, but I've been involved with ContribEx for about 3 months now. This is my third meeting here with you, and I recently started working with VMware and like full time on upstream Kubernetes. So hopefully I'll get to see more of you often. That's awesome. I'll pass it off to Kim. If that's okay.
Hi, I'm Kim. I'm a developer advocate at DigitalOcean, and like Madhav, I'm sort of new to coming to these meetings. I think this is my third one, but hoping to get more involved in contributing to Kubernetes and just knowing the community. So, Madhi, have you gone already? I came in late.
No, I didn't go yet.
Okay.
All right. So I'm Madhi. I'm new to the Kubernetes community and contributor experience. This is my first meeting, and I'm interested in, I guess, learning more about contributor experience and starting somewhere. So I think this is a good place to start before I try working on upstream PRs later this year. Let's see, I work at VMware, and I'm based out of Seattle. I will pass it to who's next on the list here? Avinash.
Hey, this is Avinash from India. This is my first meeting, and I've been roaming around in Kubernetes communities like anything, and so this is the first stop that I've reached, and I'm very excited to be a part of this community and do some great job. I don't know, so I think Sedev is the next person to go on.
Yeah, sure. I can go. Thanks, Avinash. Hello, everyone. My name is Sadev Zala. I work at IBM in North Carolina, and I'm a existing contributor to Kubernetes, working on it for 4 years now, contributing to various parts on cloud provider side, and I'm also one of the maintainers for HCD project. That's about it. And I was a little bit late, so I'm not sure who is still missing the introduction. So if somebody can help me, maybe Josh, are you done? Or if you help me finding the next one.
I'm not sure. I already talked.
Okay.
Vedant, why don't you go next?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
Vedant. All right, cool.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vedant. This is the second time I'm joining the ContribEx meeting. I've interacted with Allison and Josh before, and I'm currently contributing to Kubernetes docs under Hindi localization effort, and hoping to learn more from you all.
Arnav, do
Am I
you want to go
audible?
next?
Cool, and I believe the last person on the line to introduce themselves. Have we heard from, wait, we've got two people left, I think. Anand, and so Anand next, I guess, yeah.
Hey, hi. I'm Hano. I'm based in France. I've been in the community for 3 years now. I'm the co-chair of K-Central Working Group. I'm a release manager associate. I'm also in ContribEx as registration lead. I think that's all for me.
Awesome. And last, we have Nigel.
Hi, my name's Nigel. I haven't been to one of these meetings before. I saw the GitHub issue looking for folks to help out at KubeCon with the contributor or the contributor summit, and that's how I got found out about this place. I'm a community manager over at VMware, and I very recently found out about this meeting, which I'm in the car currently. So, yeah. Hello.
I think Deva is left. So you just want to go next?
Yeah, hi, I'm Deva. I'm from India. So basically, I just recently started to contributing to ContribEx and presently working with Paris and regarding the annual contributors meeting doc. And we are working on releasing some of the tweets. So I'm regarding that doc and I have some doubts and I want some reviews from you guys. So yeah, this is my first meeting and yeah, that's why I'm here. And that's all about me.
Cool. So yeah, it's a pretty packed call today. Thank you everyone for coming along. So with all that, let's get right onto the agenda. So we've got events, office hours. I don't see pop or raw code on the line, but does anyone have any updates about office hours? Have heard anything about that? Take that as no. Next we have the community meeting. I think it's still in the same from last time, same state as last time we discussed it. So August being the release retro. I don't see Laura on the line, but does anyone have any updates around the community meeting? All right. Contributor summits. I wasn't at the last summit staff meeting, but so if anyone here on the line was at that meeting and could fill us in, that would be awesome.
I was there. Gotta remember what happened though. Let me bring up the notes. Maybe
honestly, we discussed the numbers a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and we picked the t-shirt design.
Yeah, we picked the t-shirt design. That was the most exciting thing, I think.
Awesome. So also I noticed a bunch of people on the line earlier were saying they want to get involved with Contributor Summit and all that. There is a separate meeting that goes on at Mondays at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And that meeting's more focused around Contributor Summit. I'll put a link to the notes for that meeting, which has all the invite and the meeting info there, I believe. So I'll post that. Is there still space for folks to help out on site? I believe there should be space. It's just a case of like what we're still planning out what we're doing a lot. So. Anything anyone has to add to contributor summits? Oh, beans. We've got mentoring. Meet our contributors. We haven't had one of these in a while. Needs to get rescheduled onto that calendar. There's the G Suite migration stuff that I need to catch up on what's happening with that, so that we can get the calendar invites out. So there's that. Does anyone have any information around Meet Our Contributors? Any updates?
There was some great discussion about Meet Our Contributors in the marketing team meeting last week. We had some folks who had started an effort to do an APAC focused Meet Our Contributors thing. It sounded like maybe they were going to target a blog post style for the APAC focused Meet Our Contributors. But they had started this effort in January of 2020, and then it kind of got left alone for a while, and they were coming back to it. So I told them that they should probably connect with Paris, and there was some conversation going on Slack about what they were going to do next for that effort. So exciting.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. Yeah. Definitely. If they need help with that, with the Meet Our Contributors stuff, I think definitely like raising a message, like a call for volunteers out onto the mailing list, for just more stories and things, and getting it in terms of a blog post thing into the contributor site as a blog post. I think it shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, we said
that's my
we'd be
thoughts.
happy to. We said we'd be happy to help them through that. So they're trying to work out within their own group who's going to do what and what they want it to look like, and then they were going to come back to us with more information.
Yeah, I can add on that. Even like I'm working closely on that APAC contributor series. Like we have an organized effort now. Like we are trying to reach out to specific contributors related to specific countries. We have made an async Google form. Actually, that form was made last year by Nabarun, and we're using that. And also we have a lot of information that was already collected, and we are just like moving forward on basis of that, and we will be we are dividing it on the basis of two. Like a part of a group of people will be working on collecting the inputs from the contributors, and another group will be working on documenting the whole thing. We now plan to release blogs according to country, like the countries that come under APAC. Also, the most difficulty that now we are dealing with is on the basis of language, because some countries are not the contributors are not native English speakers, so we also need to get that kind of speaking group coming up and helping us. So we will be reaching out people soon, and now we are just organizing thing. And today only I think Nabarun got back on the questions we had, and even like in the GitHub that issue is getting active now, people coming up, and a lot of people have come up to help us. So yeah, that part is going on well.
Awesome. Thanks for the update. So that sounds like it's all coming along really well. Looking forward to see the blog posts and stuff come along. Next we have Playground, Google Summer of Code, Outreachy, all that kind of stuff. Ehor, any updates around the LFX and stuff like that?
Yeah, a quick update about Google Stream of Code, first of all. So we are at the final stage, and we're actually at the stage where students are required to provide their feedback and to fill out the final evaluation forms. And in next week or so, we'll also receive the final evaluations from mentors as well. So by the end of the month, we will have the final results about Google Summer of Code 2021. LFX, so the summer cycle is ongoing, and by the end of September, we'll have the final results about it. And on the LFX fall cycle, which we are currently kicking off, we are actively accepting mentorship candidates to participate in. So if anybody on this call wants to participate in LFX mentoring as a mentee, or if you know any people who are willing to, you have any friends or so it's the right time to share this across these groups. So we are accepting applications until the end of the current week. We have a few, I believe we have 3 projects proposed by Kubernetes, and we also have other opportunities with other CNCF projects. Some of them are also related to Kubernetes directly. And if you're looking for more details, actually, so we have just published a blog post on the CNCF blog, so you can find more details there.
Yeah, as for Outreachy, we haven't decided whether we're doing Outreachy yet next term. We don't currently have any projects set up for Outreachy, partly because this cycle Outreachy, LFX, and GSOC are kind of coinciding. So likely what we'll end up doing is skipping the cycle because, you know, we, as a project, only going to mentor so many people at one time.
Cool. Which brings us to our next item, contributor workshop. No updates from me on this front. So yeah. Which brings us to the next item, the need to know chairs and team leads email. Last time this was brought up, we were going to fire it off once the registrations for Contributor Summit were posted. Need to follow up on that, which brings us to the next item, which is Devstats. Has anyone heard about Devstats? Any information about Devstats? Otherwise, we'll go to the next, which is marketing. Caslin.
Sorry, takes me a minute to find the mute sometimes. As I mentioned, we had a lot of fun in the marketing meeting last week. We had a discussion, of course, about the Meet Our Contributors stuff. It was exciting to see everyone there. And let me bring up the notes to remember what else we talked about in that meeting. We had some discussion about upcoming communications around steering committee elections, as well as the contributor summit and KubeCon, of course. And we have a couple of SIG profile blog posts, which are on their way to the blog. One of them, I think, is in a PR now, which I need to check back in on for SIG Node. And then there's another one that's in progress for SIG multi-cluster, which should have a draft ready in the near future. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Cool. Thank you very much, Kaslin, for the update. Next, we have next items on the agenda, contributor documentation. I don't think we've got any updates around this so far. And then after that, GitHub management. Does anyone have any updates around GitHub management?
Actually, I had an update for contributor documentation.
Yeah.
So I think around a few months back or a month back, there was someone who came up in SIG architecture and pointed out that our definitions of a few API terminologies like kinds, resources, they were differing in the official docs, and things like developer documentation under SIG architecture in K community. So then Tim came forward and suggested that we document this under kubernetes.dev as like a main source of truth, and like this is sort of developer documentation, and then reference this or give a summary of this in the official docs. But so I was trying to drive that for a while, but I kind of lost track, and I wanted to take that back up again. So I wanted to ask what repository should I like create an issue and to like maybe help track this. So under K community, or is there something else that I could additionally do?
So for the best kind of place I think this would fall under would be under the community site, the KDev site. And
okay.
I'll just see if I can pull that repo up. Maybe Josh, do you have any thoughts on that?
Wait, on which part of the site?
Where's the community site would be the best place to put this issue.
Yeah, so I think the discussion was around like creating a new, like a page under the document, like the developer contributor documentation section, to help document this as like a source of truth across like the different sources. So like the official docs is at a higher level, but SIG architecture developer documentation is at a more technical level, and the skew is significant enough for it to seem different in both places for someone who's just coming in. So I was hoping like maybe a new page under KH.dev.
Yeah, where are the SIG-Arch docs being published right now?
So by docs, I mean under devel/SIG architecture under in K community. So contributors, let me just like pull that up. Just one second.
We need to get all that moved over to the website repo, but the yeah, I mean, I think it would make sense to make it clear that the two things are distinct, if that's what you're asking. The
not just so not just that, it's that when people come in and like try to look at, so they first look at the official docs, and if that's not clear enough, they try to look at something that's more deep, like talks about it in more detail, but the skew appears to be significant enough for them to like not be convinced with either of them. So try to sort of provide like a middle ground which is high level enough, but also goes into enough detail about some of these topics, so that both sides of the things become clear. So like the SIG-Arch side of things also they can dive into after this, and also try to understand what the high level thing in KHLIO is saying.
I mean, all that sounds good. Is there any you think stopping you from doing it?
Oh no, so I just wanted to ask if this would be the right avenue for it, and like if there is anything else, or like just creating a README under developer documentation in K community. So
see,
like the better place of the.
Yeah, I guess one of my questions is this material getting published to the website?
Website as in like the official docs, or
the the contributor Kubernetes contributor
so,
website.
Yeah,
Aids.dev.
so I was hoping that that might be the right place for it, but in case if folks think that just like documenting it somewhere inside the repository is a better option than publishing it onto kh.dev, then
No.
that's
We
what-
want all this stuff to be on KDev.
Okay, got it. Awesome.
It's just a question of whether or not it's already been activated there.
No, it's
So-
not. The effort has to be started now. So
And in some cases, we may want to move it physically in order to make it easier to publish. Yeah, almost none of this stuff is there right now.
Correct. Okay, so I'll create an issue on K community and I'll talk to Tim about it, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can bring this up.
Yeah, so I mean, there's two things. One is updating the content and making it clear what the structure is. And the second thing is setting it up so that it starts getting published to Kubernetes.dev, which are two separate tasks, really.
Thanks.
Okay. Oh, that sounds good. Good work looking for that stuff.
For GitHub management, I had a question. So I think day before yesterday or like somewhere this week, there was a PR fixing a few links in K community in SIG API machinery, but since like it didn't get a lot of traction initially, so I pinged one of the reviewers, and they said that we do like we do a sweep of PRs and issues twice a week, but this didn't really show up because, and that's because they like filter based on needs triage labels, and since that isn't enabled on all repositories by default, I was wondering if there is anything that can be done to like since different SIGs have different processes for triaging, if there's anything that can be done like per SIG in terms of adding an indicative label or something of that sort, or something like that. Has it been discussed before?
I don't really have an answer to that question. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, probably talk up an issue to discuss that. Any other things that we have to discuss about GitHub management today? All right. Next up, we have Slack Infra. Any updates on Slack Infra? All right, which leads us to open mic and discussion. So if you've got something you'd like to share with the group that didn't make its way into the agenda, this is the best place to chat about it. If you've got like a lingering question or a thought, or you want some help with something, yeah, this is the place.
Okay, steering committee elections. Next step is we have an elections committee. Next step is proposing that and getting it confirmed to the steering committee, followed by the elections committee, by the way, consisting of me, Allison, and Noah, with our nod acting as our liaison to Kubernetes infra, because this is going to be the first one run on self-hosted Electo. So there's some infrastructure setup involved. Speaking of which, after we get that up and running, Electo will then become available for any kind of elections within the community. So it'll become an easy access option where you can create an election just by creating a directory within the community repo. Following that, we have to set an election calendar and then get things going. That's where we are with the steering committee elections.
Yeah, I had some questions around steering election things because I was just going through the process and all the documentation and all that, and there's the it's written here that there at least, so we're proposing people forward to be election officers, and it's saying 2 election officers should have served before, and there's a list of history here. So I see Josh on the Lancer was on the election officer on the beforehand, but from the committee that we proposed in the Slack meeting last time, I'm not sure we have 2 people, but I don't know if we can kind of let that slide.
We don't, so we should note that in the proposal.
Yeah.
For that matter, I'm kind of wondering if 2 people who served before should be the requirement, because I have a feeling that that's going to be the exception more than the rule.
Oh, you got. Yeah, so I just need to write the email and fire that off to steering, saying these are who we have, this is who's going to be responsible for what, and probably should add that somewhere in the process, because this process is pretty well documented, but like the fire off an email to inform the steering committee this is the election committee. Yeah. Otherwise it seems pretty straightforward, like what needs to be done, and yeah, that's my kind of questions done. Deborah Barata.
Like I had this issue, like which we started with Paris. I wanted to discuss about this. We have done with the drafts. You can check the links we have given that particular issue. So the problem is we want to put this feature tweets in the contributor tweets that has recently been active. So I wanted to connect with the maintainers or the developers of this particular contributor tweets so as to know if we could put tweets in threads or not in this particular GitHub actions, or like only single tweet can be possible at one particular point of time or with one issue.
I think if you're creating a tweet to be tweeted, I think it can only do a single tweet at a time. Usually for anything like retweets or threads, we'll have to go in and do that manually, which I can help with. I did not write the automation there, but I create a lot of the tweets and help manage the tweet flow. But if you'd like to talk to Rajula and Kartikeyan, you could at contributor comms in Slack or join us on our Friday meetings at 8 a.m. and ask there. Does that help?
Yeah, cool. Thanks for the information. Yeah, it helps.
Cool. And happy to help with any more questions that pop up. And if you want to tell us more about that, happy to hear it either in Slack or in our meeting.
Yeah, sure. We'll post updates. Like Paris is reviewing the final part of it, and yeah, we'll put updates in the Slack channel.
Great.
Cool. So any other things folks would like to discuss on the open mic today?
While we are on the subject, so the migration of kind design to kind feature on KK, I think that needs some like discussion further to happen and like to decide what to do next. Because from the current GitHub management and like the automation that already exists, the reviews that were provided by Aaron, some of them, like you can't achieve some of them with the existing functionality in label sync. So either label sync has to be extended, or a manual process might need to be put into place to like address some of those review points. So if folks can like go to the issue, which I will put in the chat right now, and like take a look and like comment if any thoughts, that'd be great, so that we can help move that forward.
Cool. So okay, the issues in chat, I'll make sure that gets posted across to the meeting notes now. Anything else would like to chat about or discuss? I've got a bit of time left on the line. Or all right, I guess we can wrap things up here for today. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.